I can't believe I'm saying these words, but it is the end of 2024, which means it is time for another bullet journal flip through. Today we're going to be flipping through this journal that I got from Notebook Therapy that will be linked down below, which has all of my spreads from July to December of 2024. I don't want to waste any time, so let's get into it, but I do want to mention that my nails match the journal. Yeah, we're on top of things today. Now, before we get into the setup, I do want to preface things by saying these past couple months have been very difficult for me as far as creativity goes, so these spreads are unfortunately not spreads that I am the most proud of ever. However, I think in hindsight it's important to look at the good things and the positive in every bullet journal spread, because even though I go through ebbs and flows of creativity, that doesn't mean that these are bad spreads. It means that I just have more favorite ones out there. So with that being said, I'm going to try to look at all of these spreads with a positive outlook, okay? And I encourage you to do the same with your own journal. Of course, we have my opening spread with my name on it, Sophie. A lot of people think that my name is Mingo because of Mingo Studio, but my name actually is Sophie, so there we go. Proof is in the pudding. I always skip this first spread because it never opens all the way, and here we are into the first spread of 2024. Now, remember when I said positive outlook, okay? We are not starting off strong, unfortunately, with this spread here. Now, here's the issue. I made a Cinderella-inspired cover image here with alcohol markers because I wanted to match the blue to the cover of the journal. Now, unfortunately, the problem that I had was I used a purple color to do a lot of the mid-tone blending in between the lightest blues and the darkest blues here, because whenever I put the color down, it seemed like a good mid-tone. However, because the color is a purple at its base, over time, it just turned into a light lavender. So unfortunately, all of the shadows that I added onto her dress, the nice blending that I have in the sky right here, it looked very, very different when I first did it than how it does now. This is just an example of why this journal is not my favorite ever, because of things like this. So I have learned from this mistake, and I am trying to use more appropriate colors whenever I am blending, because I realize that over time alcohol marker likes to set and change into its original color. However, you know, it's just a lesson to be learned. I think that the original painting was still very beautiful, and I do like how the roses correlate with the roses here on the lettering on the right. So going into the next spread, these ones I never actually used. If you guys watched my original setup, I had a flower of roses like drawing over here on the left to kind of match the roses on here. I didn't actually like it very much, so I redid it and covered it with this image of like Cinderella's castle at night, and I do think this one is a better drawing. I kind of like this drawing. However, I just never actually ended up using these spreads because I was feeling very defeated after that first mess up in this bullet journal so far, and I also just feel like as far as my future log goes, I put a lot of things in my physical calendar like on my computer, and then I also use digital planning for goals as well. And to be honest, this year has not been my best as far as keeping up with my goals, but I do think that they are good to take inspiration from because I like the layout of this setup. Now, I had a Bible reading spread page, but I honestly, up until this exact second, forgot that I had this page. I was planning on reading a little bit of the Bible every single day. Obviously, after about a week, I forgot about this spread and never continued. I do need to get better at like reading the Bible more consistently, and I would say that this year I have gotten better at doing so. However, I just forgot about like actually continuing in the order of, you know, Genesis, Exodus, etc. So this spread is a good idea, but I just forgot about it. And now we're into July. So here's some good news. Okay, I really like this spread. I had the idea of doing a mermaid grotto with an image that actually overlapped two different spreads. So if you hold the paper down, you can see that this is a continuous image, except for, of course, the hot pink tabs. But the hot pink tabs are actually Dutch door spreads. So if I flip it over, you see that there is a second image over here. So I like that I can continue the exact same image and create something different on this spread. And then whenever it covers up, it's like one big drawing. This took a little bit of math for me to do if you guys saw that video, but I think it turned out really great. And also I think the mermaids look super cute. The colors are really fun. This gives great summery vibes. Probably one of the best setups in this entire bullet journal. So here's my trackers spread. We have the habit trackers in the top, goals and planning here, and then my expenses tracker, which will probably be blurred out, but you guys get the picture. It's a pretty simple layout. And then my first weekly spread, like I showed you before, has the art coming down. Again, very simple, but I really like the colors. I think that just a little bit of hot pink, light blue, those kind of colors create a very summery spread without needing much effort. The next weekly spread is again very simple, but I really like all of these horizontal lines that I did. It makes it seem like I'm writing on notebook paper. This spread was really fun. I think I did this one for a YouTube video or maybe a YouTube live, and I did a little mermaid to match the drawings on the cover. And I also used a purple Tombow Fudenosuke pen, which is kind of cool. I feel like I left most of these back at the house. I don't have them with me at the dorm, but I really like the idea of colored calligraphy pens. And now I'm moving into August. So there weren't many weekly spreads in this month because I went on vacation in July, and in in summer I don't really use many weekly spreads, but moving into August, I really like this theme as well. I used brown line art for everything, including the images, including all of the boxes, calligraphy, things like that. And I think that this was really, really cute. It's very homey, very late summer kitchen. I really like the vibes of this spread, and I also like how I continued this like tile black splash motif into the calendar, and you'll see that into the rest of the Dutch doors too, because this entire setup is actually one big Dutch door, so I have all the tabs cut out on the right. In a busy month like August where I was moving back to university, I needed to have all my spreads set up at once. So you can see as I flip through that all the weekly spreads are going to be very similar, very simple, and yeah, very repetitive with this like tile backsplash motif. But because you can still see the peekings of the artwork on the left and the right in these weekly spreads, I don't think it takes away from the overall vibe. I think it is still very colorful, very pleasant to look at. It's just that the actual weekly spreads required me to spend like 5 minutes writing every day of the week, and then I called it good. I also wanted to keep using that brown fine liner for the actual like tasks every day. It wasn't just for the artwork. I wanted to make sure that there was no black line art at all in this entire setup, and I think the dedication made it look really, really good. And then I have a final cover page, I guess a closing page, that is a reflection of this one over here. So it's almost like the kitchen is extended. We got the sink on this side and the stove on this side, and I think it looks really, really nice together. All right, so now we're moving into a random spread that I made for a video. This is my summer reading journal spread for 2024. I put 20 books that I read over the course of late May to early August, and I really, really had some good reading months this summer. Binding 13 became one of my favorite series of all time. I reread some of my favorite works by Sarah J. Maas, and I found new, really, really good books like Bride, Just for the Summer, Powerless. Those are all like 4.5 stars. So are these two. Really, really good reads. So this is my school bullet journal setup that I usually don't use for myself, but I make every year to give inspiration for other people who want student bullet journal setups. So I really like this drawing. It's inspired by this pack of stickers that some are displayed here. I got from Sticky like a year ago, and so I recreated one of these like cloth schoolhouse drawings into like a bigger drawing here, and just use the same colors to match the stickers throughout the rest of the spreads. I think this turned out super, super cute. This is my actual schedule for my classes this year, but again, I didn't actually use these spreads. However, I think they're very easy to use if I actually wanted to, because I think the setup looks really nice together. All right, so next we have a bulk of spreads. I don't know if you can see it, that's like taped together. I did a September bullet journal setup that I didn't like, and it was a Dutch door setup, so there were multiple pages cut out in between here, but I just taped it together so as I don't have to flip to it, and instead I'm flipping to this September bullet journal spread. So in the process of making my September spreads, like I said, didn't like it. I redid it because I had been sent these pumpkin stickers from Hubman and Shubgirl, and I made an entire setup inspired by these stickers. Now, was it really great to use these stickers for the setup? Absolutely. It made life really easy as far as decorating, layering, because all the stickers, washi tape, everything came in that one big pack, so it was really, really easy. However, this wasn't very creatively inspiring for me, because as cute as the little pumpkin pie and leaf falling stickers are, it's very classic fall. It didn't feel very original, it didn't feel very me. It was more like I was just using this as an easy way to make spreads rather than actually feeling very dedicated and committed to this theme. So I did create some really cool spreads. I like this like modular weekly spread. It looks very busy, very full. I like it in general, but I would like it more if I had a different theme that wasn't like, you know, pumpkins and overall very basic fall stuff. Not to say that basic fall is bad necessarily in the slightest. I do think this, especially if you're a beginner to bullet journal, is a great way to start a bullet journal, is by buying packs like this and using them. However, for me, because I make content, it's a priority of mine to make original spreads. You know what I'm saying? So that was where I was kind of iffy about these spreads, but I did still stick to it for the entire month. This is the last weekly spread, and as you can see, in every single weekly I have a academic tracker spot where I can track the assignments due in every class during the week. Moving into October, this was one of the better spreads, I think, of the entire journal. I really, really like this setup. There are a couple issues that I have with the art itself, but again, looking on the positive side, I do think that this overall is a really cool concept. I wanted to do something dark and neon, and I think that the effect of bright colors like the pink, purple, and green versus the dark brown and black backgrounds, and also like the silhouette around our little witch here, really came off, and you guys seem to really like this setup. I think it was one of my most popular out of everything this year, so I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed the artwork in this one. I thought it was super fun. I liked combining the black paper with white writing with the, of course, white journal paper and black writing. I thought it was an interesting way to go back and forth. It was a little tedious to have both a white gel pen and a black gel pen on hand for everything, I will admit, but you know, you gotta make some sacrifices for the aesthetics sometimes. Yeah, I thought this was a really cool theme in general. And I also combined both alcohol markers and water-based markers. So this artwork up here is done directly into the journal. So I'm using water-based markers for all of this. However, for something like this spread, which is actually a Dutch door, this is a piece of paper taped in. So this is actually completely alcohol markers instead. So I think it can work either way. I tried to use two different mediums and kind of blend them together. Like for example, this is alcohol markers, but then these are water-based markers. So it depends on like whether I'm drawing directly into the journal or not, because alcohol markers will bleed right through. This, alcohol markers, this, water-based markers. And also this setup is really cool. I like the circle setup. All right, moving into November, we're really flying through this. This was my scrapbooking theme for this second half of the year, and I really do like it. Now, the one problem that I have with it are the colors that I chose for like this, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But that being said, I think that this spread is super, super cool. So I printed out a lot of images of my favorite artwork, like Cupid and Psyche is my favorite statue. There's also an image of flowers in here, a statue in a museum. I also printed things like butterflies and this image of a museum up here. Then I used different ephemera like my washi tape that has lots of words on it, some random scrapbook paper of like old music, things like that. And also this is Cupid's dream and this is Cupid and Psyche, so like it all kind of goes together. Overall, I think that this was a really, really cool cover page, and I really like how I carried it through as well. This spread is sick. I really, really like having a emphasis on the left side of the spread. I did something very similar to this for my academic planner in April of this year, so I recreated it for this one and I think it turned out just as effective. So yeah, the scrapbooking, really, really sick. It gives off very dark academia vibes. I love how the spread feels very claustrophobic because all of the papers and scrapbooking is like closing in the different boxes and trackers in this spread. My main problem though was because I chose to use the blue and the beige for like most of my colors as far as the water-based markers go, I felt like the vibes of dark academia was lost in the weekly spreads because all the darkness is just a little bit here, a little bit here. Everything here is very light, which is totally fine, you know, but because November is a very like dark end of fall month for me, I liked these like dark, you know, images, and this is like a very, very dark painting. But then I felt like that darkness was lost when we get into the rest of the spread because it's all like white and beige and light blue, you know what I'm saying? Now, it's very hard to get the dark effect in a white journal, and I've had trouble doing it in the past, which is why I tried to play it safe with the blue and beige. But then like this spread looks very light to me. There's not much going on as far as like heaviness of color. So, you know, just things to learn from in the future, I think, is to be more brave, I guess you could say, be more courageous with my use of color. This one I think is a little bit more balanced because darkness here, it kind of, you know, comes together, but you know, still a couple issues that I have, but again, overall, it's still, I think, a very nice theme. I love the scrapbooking, and it's nice to be able to take a break from drawing things for a month and just use images printed off of the internet. Before going to my last theme, I did an autumn reading journal spread like I did for the summer. So these are all the books that I read from August 13th to November 4th. This has 22 books, there it is, 22 books and 10,200 pages about total out of all of these. So I read a lot in the past couple of months. Again, let me point out my favorites. This was a 4-star, Reckless is a 4.5 star, this is a 4-star. For the Wolf was a 5-star read for me. 6 of Crows is 4 stars. I actually reread Saving 6, which I read in the summer, so that was another 5-star because I reread it. 4-star, 4-star, actually 4.5 star, 4-star. So a lot of good reads, but also a lot of bad reads. This was a 1-star, 1-star, lots of 2 stars. So, you know, I got some range for sure, but overall I really like this spread, and I love like this paper that's very warm and mottled, and I think the colors are really nice in this spread. All right, so now we are in December, and if these colors look very familiar to you, it's because I used the exact same beige and blue that I did in my November spreads. But I think that this one is nice because I actually leaned into the pastel and light vibes for this. So I wanted to draw a chapel in the snow because it's like a Christmas Eve service. You're coming out of the chapel after, you know, singing so at night before Christmas, and then snow is falling. It's like the vibes that I'm trying to emulate is that. So I really like this setup overall. I think the chapel is very beautiful. I think it is a very good complementary spread with like the snow on both sides, and then the beige matches the beige over here, the blue. You'll get the picture. I just posted this setup on my channel a couple weeks ago, and as you can see, it's like barely into the month of December, so I'm like not very far into this setup so far, but I think that overall the spreads that I have created are super cool. And also drawing these dead trees with like the lanterns in them is really, really simple. If you guys watch my plan with me, you'll see how easy it is to do. Very beginner friendly. This is the first weekly spread. This is actually the spread that I'm currently in right now. So as you can see, we have last week, and then this is this upcoming week that I haven't actually filled in yet. And then then this picture on the right matches, of course, the cover page and everything. And I like this like pill shape almost with the curved bottom and top. I think it's an original shape for an image. If I could change one thing, I probably would leave this path white. I don't know if I love the beige, but I was nervous because I didn't want like white on white. You know, I felt like it was a little bit much as far as like the second half of this drawing. But you know, in hindsight, again, you just kind of learn little things that you would tweak if you did it again. And that is the last spread, I believe, in this journal. If I flip to the end, I don't think I've used anything in the end of this journal so far, but although I probably will only use a couple more spreads before the end of the year, I do always use the remaining spreads in a bullet journal for like other videos. Like if I do video commissions or if I need to make random spreads for something, I will use the rest of this journal for that. So don't you fear, these spreads will be used at some point, but that is the end of this flip through. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all my spreads from these past 6 months. Comment down below which theme or which spread was your favorite. I'd be really curious to know. And as always, subscribe to my channel. I post bullet journaling videos every single Saturday. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next week for my new 2025 bullet journal setup. I am so excited for it. I'll see you then.